Okay. Mary, are you here? Mary, I have questions. My first question is about soul archetypes. I asked you a long time ago, like, what a soul archetype was, and you said it's not something that you can translate to me. And I was wondering, is soul archetypes akin to soul paths? Because we've talked about soul paths as well. Are they like the same thing? Yeah. Are soul archetypes real? Yes. You just don't know how to describe them to me. Is that true? You don't know how to describe soul archetypes to me? When a person comes into existence, or when a soul comes into existence in the realm before ever incarnating, are they assigned a soul archetype? No. When does a person get a soul archetype? A S O N E G R O W S. Do I have a soul archetype? Yes. Does the color of my soul have to do with my soul archetype? No. Okay. Does the color of my aura have to do with my soul archetype? Yes. Interesting. So, Mary, I have another question. I was wondering, do some spirits pose as organic extraterrestrials? So, like, do they like pose as them? Like, but they're really spirits. Yes. Interesting. Mary, I was wondering, we talked about soul parts the other day. Do soul parts ever incarnate as people? Or do people ever incarnate with, instead of a complete soul, they have soul parts? Does that ever happen? No. Mary, do souls ever get mixed matched? Like there'd be like a core from one entity and then like a center from another entity. And like souls get mixed matched. Does that ever happen? No. Mary, I was wondering about the magicians who know the mathematics of, or who are close to knowing the mathematics of reality. Are there any in the United States of America who magicians that are close to knowing the mathematics of reality? F E W. So there are a few in America who you wrote few. So there are a few in America who are close to knowing the mathematics of reality. Is that true? And they're magicians. Mary, how would a magician go about, like, how would they know to even, like, how would they even know that there's a mathematics of reality to strive to knowing about? Like, how would that even occur? T H E Y A R E N O S A X A R E. I got they are. What was the word after R? I didn't get that. They are what? N O T. Okay. A X. Or is that a W? I'm going to say W this time. A R. They are not aware. E. So you wrote they are not aware. So they don't even know that they're close to being to knowing the mathematics of reality. Is that true? They don't realize it's just sort of happening without um, without them knowing. Yes. Mary, does does being a magician here in the third dimension, does that have any benefit? No. Mary, my next question or line of questioning has to do with the jinn. Do jinn attach themselves to people? S O M E. Some of them. What do those jinn? What do they get out of attaching themselves to people? Why do they do that? L E S S E N E R S Y S P E N T. All right, I got less energy spent, but I'm guessing that's less energy spent. Is that true? You meant less energy spent? So you meant less energy spent. So, what does that mean? Less energy spent? That they're like using the human being's energy somehow, like to achieve a goal. Mary, do jinn live in the in between area of the third and the fourth dimension? The same place that ghosts live. Is that where jinn lives? Yes. Mary, are there any jinn who have incarnated as humans? No. Are there any jinn who have incarnated at all? Mary, what has jinn incarnated as? What did they become? C R E A T U R E S. You said creatures. What kind of creatures? A O I M A L S. You wrote A O. That O is supposed to be an N, I bet. Did you write animals? Yes. So let me write that down. So like a jinn could be like a cow. Is that possible? Like a jinn would incarnate as a cow. Would um when jinn are in the ghost world, the in between area of the third and the fourth dimension, do jinn are they humanoid? Um, at that juncture. No. Mary, did jinn know how to speak languages, like with their mouth in the in between area? Yes. Mary, when you say jinn are soul parts, do you mean like they might have like a brain, like they might have like a core, you call it a brain, but they wouldn't have their center? Are you saying that that's possible? Yes. Mary, how did the jinn get themselves in that circumstance where they were only parts of souls? How did that happen? How does that happen? C A N T S P E A K O E T R E S E T H I N G S E U R T H E R. Mary, I only got as far as can't speak. I don't know what you said. What was the word you wrote after can't speak? O F. Okay, that was an F. T H E S E. You can't speak of these things. And then what was the word after things? E. I got the, or F, that's an F. That's probably why you're not moving. F. You can't speak of these things. And then F. U. R. T. H. E. R. You can't speak of these things further. Okay. Mary, I was wondering about like sometimes I get musical inspiration, and I sometimes music it's clearer to me in my head, like music theory wise. Sometimes it gets clearer than normal, and I was wondering, do spirits ever give me musical inspiration? Like literally. Yes. So what happens in that circumstance? Like a spirit who knows music will talk to my core, my brain. I N A S E N S E. In a sense. Mary, did you talk to any of the leaders about the blindfold test we talked about last week? N O T T H I S R O T A T I O N I H A V E N T B E E N G I V E N A U D I E N C E. Or is that an E or an F? E W I T H T H E L. Was that supposed to be an M, I think? You said not this rotation. I haven't been given audience with them. Is that what you wrote? Yes. Mary, I was wondering, will knowing, like, because I know about the fourth dimension, will just the simple act of knowing about the fourth dimension help me not be confused once I get there? Because I know there's a time where I'll be confused, or a person who dies becomes confused when they're in the fourth dimension. Will me knowing about the fourth dimension keep me from being so confused? No. Mary, is it possible that confused 4D people make up stories in that state about what the afterlife is? That while they're in that confused state, they make up stories about what's really going on. I T I S P O S S I B L E. Mary, how many energy threads now do I give to Leslie? 1, 4, 1, 8. And Mary, how many energy threads does she give to me? 1, 6, 9, 8. Mary, have you felt that I've been being less negative lately? Since the last time we talked, I've been less negative? Yes. I don't know any other questions. Let me see. Well, that's it for this portion.